Many years ago, Ammaji said, the sound of yoga is silence. And this was a very difficult lesson for me because being a three Dharma Marga, I like to express myself very passionately, very loudly, abundantly, and in an entertaining way. I often say Dr. Ananda doesn't offer any guarantee on enlightenment, but he offers guarantee on entertainment. So I'll keep you entertained. Whether you will get enlightened or not, well, that, as they say, Ram Bharosa depends on the divine. Or as the Muslims say, Inshallah, Allah willing. Divine willing, that will happen. Ishvara Kripa, as we call it. Guru Kripa and the Ashirvad. You know, when we talk about sound, we think of loudness as sound. And in Tamil, we have a word sattam. Now, sattam is the equivalent of shabda in Sanskrita, but it's called sattam. And normally in Tamil, if you say sattam, it means noise. Sattam podade means don't make noise. So sattam, shabda, became sound, which became something that had to be loud enough to be perceived by the human ear. Please understand, the human ear is very limited. 20 to 20,000 hertz is our hearing capacity. Frequencies lower than 20 and above 20,000, we just don't hear. And most of us, even that we are losing because our hearing is so bad. So 20 to 20,000 is the best of all human hearing. And yet, we believe our senses. So we say, if I don't hear it, it doesn't exist. If I don't see it, it doesn't exist. If I don't feel it, it doesn't exist. Your senses are liars. But we want to be overpowered by a sensory experience. And so for us, Shabda seems to be sound that is so loud that it will have an impact on us. But actually, Shabda is the most refined universal vibration. It is the nada itself. And nada is pure vibration. There is a type of yoga called Shabda Yoga, Surat Shabda Yoga, where they try to attune to that pure vibrational essence of the universe. It's a peak of the Nada Yoga experience. That universal vibration is way beyond our human capacity to perceive it as sound. So often you find people saying, here is a recording of the sun making the sound Om. The sun doesn't say Om, okay? Shiva is not sitting there saying Om, 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 like we show in all our Indian soap operas and videos. The sound of the cosmos is in such a frequency, the human ear cannot perceive it. That is why it is nirguna. We can only perceive that which is saguna, that which is tinged with attributes, that which is colored and embellished by attributes is what we perceive. The pure sound, the pure tone cannot be perceived by the human ear. Now, another meaning of sound is wellness. When you say sound health, are you in sound health? Are you well? And what do you mean by wellness? That is my keynote for SITA for the IAYT next week. Moving from illness to wellness through yoga chikitsa. So I don't want to give too much of that away. Wellness is a sense of wholesomeness. So when you have a wholesomeness, you are in sound health. You are in tune with the cosmic vibration, because Purnam is manifesting wholesomeness. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. That Purnam or wholesomeness is the state of perfect health. Now, another very common statement in India that has gone abroad is empty vessels make lot of noise. And we say, Nivai Kudam Tadumbad. The pot that is full will not make any noise. And it means the people who really know will never go around saying, I know, I know, I know. If somebody goes around saying, I know it all, it means they know nothing. Because the empty pot makes the most noise. So the ones who are advertising the most that they are enlightened are most probably the least enlightened of all. The enlightened one doesn't have to say, I am enlightened, because there's no more I there. Same thing with knowledge. The more you gain in knowledge, the more your life experience converts that knowledge into wisdom. And the more your sadhana enables you to move from jnana, from vidya, knowledge, to jnana, wisdom, to prajna, which is the cosmic wisdom, the wisdom of the universe. Once you get up there, there's no sound anymore. There's no noise anymore. Because you have attuned with the vibration. The state of yoga is a state of wholesome oneness. And in wholesome oneness, there is no duality. And if there's no duality, who is there to perceive a sound? And that is why Ammaji, in her infinite wisdom, has said, the sound of yoga is silence. There's no duality. When I speak, you hear. When you speak, I hear. Because there's duality. But in that state of oneness, who is there to perceive anymore? Who is there to hear anymore? Who is there to make noise anymore? Because you are at one. And that is why the master teacher, Dakshinamurti, sits in silence. Adi Shankara tells us, Mauna Vyakya. He is not sitting giving lesson after lesson after lesson with lesson plans. Sattam illai. Yes. Beyond it, he is in Mauna Vyakya with Chinmudra Ananda Murtim in the form of Ananda. And all the rishis who are in the state of Brahmanishtai, they have attained the state of Brahma, Brahman itself. They are sitting there receiving the teachings in silence. He is self-satisfied, Swatma Ramam, and he is cheerful, Mudita Vadanam. What a beautiful concept Adi Shankara gives us of that highest level of teaching is silence. The highest level of living is silence. The highest level of knowing is silence. The highest level of existence is silence. Mauna Vyakya Pragatita Para Brahma Tattvam Yuvanam Vashishtan Devasad Rishigana Avartam Brahmanishtai Acharyendram Karakalita Chinmudrananda Rupam Chinmudrananda Murtim Swadmaramam Mudita Vadanam Dakshina Murtim Midhe. That silence is the state of yoga. That oneness is the state of yoga. And I'll end with a beautiful teaching from my music master, Kalaimamani Sri Ramanathan sir, who was an embodiment of Nada Yoga. And I remember asking him as a young boy when I started performing, we would have the tambura, the drone in the background. It is our Shruti to which we attune. And so that drone is there, you start to attune to it when you are singing. So your sa should be with its sa, your pa with its pa, your sa with its sa and all that. And one day I asked him, I said, sir, often when we sing, we go off key. We go off pitch, off tune. We go away from Shruti. And I said, sir, when I'm performing on stage and that drone is in the background, so much of noise, because often our concerts are in the middle of the street, buses going by, honking, honk, 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 rickshaw honk and all, and we are singing and performing in the middle of the street in Pondicherry. You cannot hear anything, let alone the drone. I am like, sir, as a vocalist, when I'm singing on stage, how do I know when I am moved away from that pitch, when I'm off key, when I'm off Shruti? How will I know? And he said, Ananda, as long as you are in tune with that Shruti, you will not hear it. As long as you're in tune with it, you won't hear it. If you have gone off key, off pitch, off Shruti, you will hear it for sure, because then there will be duality. You have gone away from that pitch. Because you have gone away, there is you and there is the pitch, and hence you can hear it. So if you can hear it, you are singing off tune. Stop singing, find that pitch, find that oneness again. So I would close here with this statement that the sound of yoga is silence, because the sound of oneness is silence. But this silence is not an absence of sound, but it is the complete wholesome experience of the vibrational essence of Shabda and Nada itself. Hari Om Tat Sat.